I had to take an Uber here tonight, and then she had Wisconsin plates, so I wasn't surprised when she needed me to blow into the ignition lock to get the car going. You know, a lot of people think that Lambeau Field, you know, where the Packers play, is the only stadium without an official sponsor. You know, like here in Minnesota, we got US Bank. They actually do have a sponsor, but like most people in Wisconsin, the sponsor is anonymous. You'll get it. It'll take you 12 steps, but you'll get that joke eventually. Things are going good. I got to start off and say things are going great. My new wife and I just moved from the Minneapolis suburbs. Got a great new house. I love it. The best part is that we have water pressure now. It's great because when I took a shower in Minneapolis, it felt like 3 dudes were pissing on me. I mean, I assume that's what it felt like. It's never happened. I was never part of a fraternity. Back in the office now. I gotta go back in the office, which I don't really like, but it's probably good for me. I'm getting more exercise now. Especially now that the elevator's out of order. So now I gotta walk all the way down the hall to the other elevator to get to the second floor. I had to get a new phone. I dropped my phone last week, so I got a new phone. I think it still works. I just no way I was bending over for it. When you're here, be careful on the escalators. A couple weeks ago I was here. I was on the escalator and it broke down. I was stuck for 25 minutes. I am losing weight now, actually, believe it or not. I'm losing some weight. It's going well. I knew I had to lose some weight because anytime I took a selfie, it was on panoramic. It was a problem. I knew it was a problem. Every time my DoorDash order showed up, I'd get a runner's high just getting up to get my DoorDash. Besides being fat, I'm old, getting old now. It's awful. I'm at an age now I don't know how to tell a friend that his daughter dropped out of college to be a webcam girl. And she overcharged my credit card. As they get old, I'm getting more boring. Even my dreams are boring now. Like I dreamt about Jennifer Lawrence. But just that she's really good friends with my neighbor. My midlife crisis was super boring. Some guys get a mistress or a sports car. I kind of did the exact opposite. I started board gaming with my then wife and Brian, her new boyfriend. It might be seen sad. He was actually doing me a huge favor because I tried to divorce her for years. And that marriage is harder to get out of the hammock. Tough. Some people think it's a tiger or cuckold. I'm like, no, I didn't feel that way. I wasn't a cuckold. Because I felt like I had a new drinking buddy. I felt lucky. I had a gaming buddy. Some of the stuff around the house I was sick of doing. You know, the yard work, or my wife. It's awful that first time you catch your wife cheating at Scrabble. She did catch me cheating once though. She walked in on me and I was in bed. 2 seasons ahead of her on Breaking Bad. I think I deserved that. We were married 12 years and people were like, Todd, that's a long time to be unhappy in a marriage. And like, you know, we had some things in common. We both like puppies. We both liked the Gilmore Girls. We both hated giving blowjobs. I'll be honest, one of those isn't true. I don't like the Gilmore Girls. I fucking love the Gilmore Girls. I love the Gilmore Girls so much that at one point I think my cycle synced up with theirs. Before I was married, I spent my 20s in the friend zone, which is awful, right? If anybody's been in the friend zone, it's awful. But one thing I got out of it, though, I was in the friend zone so long that even to this day, I can still do a really great French braid. One time my friend Beth, she's like, Todd, you're like a brother to me. And when you're in the friend zone, that's usually the last thing you want to hear. Except in Beth's case, I felt like I had a chance. Because she's from Alabama. And I think the big issue was that young women, and I know this is a generalization, but young women like a dangerous bad boy, right? I wasn't that. Like the most dangerous thing I did in my 20s was eat at McDonald's 5 days a week. Like the worst thing I did is I would lie. She caught me lying once. I lied about going to the strip club. I was actually playing Dungeons and Dragons. Didn't want her to know. So I had another friend, Lisa. She one time called me. I was like, Todd, can you pick me up 10 McChickens? I'm like, can't do it. But I'm glad too, because I found out later she was just trying to see what she could get away with to get me to do. So I was pissed. I was so angry I ghosted her. She didn't know for like 6 months. Until she needed a ride to the airport. That's when I got my revenge. Got back at her. I didn't help her with her luggage at all. So as she got in the car though, she said, Todd, thanks for the ride, and touched my arm. And when you're in the friend zone, that arm touch, that's like third base. So I was in love again. Holy home is also a little hard too, I gotta say, a little hard. Something like that one. That's a good joke. So I finally, in my mid-20s, I did get a hooker. I got a hooker. There's a happy ending, I gotta say, for her. I helped her move into her boyfriend's place. So, like I said, I was single for a long time. So I did, I spent a lot of time wondering what was wrong with me. Then I got married. I gotta say, I miss not knowing. So in the divorce, she wanted half my comic books. That's how we ended up with 5,000 Sephora points. So after the divorce, I started dating, so I went to my doctor. I asked him for a year's supply of Viagra. He prescribed me 2 pills. Like, hey, Doc, what's going on here? I appreciate your optimism. What am I going to do with an extra Viagra? Turns out I needed it. Middle-aged Todd was a chick magnet. I don't know, I went from the friend zone to the bone zone, I can't figure out why. I think it's because I'm a middle-aged bad boy. Live on the edge. Sometimes I eat wings after 7 o'clock. Even without my Prilosec. Sometimes I leave my garbage can at the end of the driveway an extra day or two just to see if I'll get a note from the HOA. Live on the edge. I think really women were into me now because I've got that fast Sephora moisturizer fortune. Not that fast, I guess. I also now have something that a lot of women want. I got nice boobs. And I didn't know, if the rules of dating had changed over the years. Do I pay? Do we go Dutch on the Viagra? It's expensive. It's like 60 bucks a pop. That's like 30 bucks a minute. I have a limited entertainment budget. I don't know if I want to have sex. Or just get 4 months of HBO Go. I know one thing's for sure, ladies. I can binge all night long. All right, that one's got to go. I think it works. I think it's me. So it's not covered by insurance. Viagra's not covered. So that means that now Blue Cross is cock blocking me. I had some more Viagra jokes, I think. Viagra jokes are surprisingly hard to write. Okay. I wasn't going to do any dumb ones tonight, I did that. That wasn't even on my list. But they have an expiration date on them, like most medications, so as that date gets nearer, or, closer, I get a little more desperate, so I'm willing to swipe right on women who are Packer fans. That's how desperate I get sometimes. Wow, that's the worst thing I've ever said, I think. There's some worse ones coming up, guys. So dating was tough, but like every single guy started taking some dick pics. It's the law, right? But don't worry about it, I wasn't sending them to anybody. You're not gonna see them in the clouds, so ladies, don't bother looking. I just really like seeing that little guy again. I dated an older woman for a while. That's how I learned that, I dated an older woman and she lied to me about it though. It's okay she was older, but she lied. I should have known though, like her email address was sexygma2@CompuServe. She was always on her phone playing hard Candy Crush. And then I figured out that when she asked me to come back to her place so we could Blockbuster and chill. She had a really comfy Davenport, I gotta say, really comfy Davenport. I dated a younger woman then for a while, which was odd. That's when I learned that millennials aren't eating cereal anymore. The Breakfast of Champions. I never really figured out what it was, but I'm just assuming it was the Breakfast of Participants. This crowd's too young for that. They really turned on me bad. All right. Millennials don't eat a lot of weird stuff, right? We all know that. They eat a lot of kale. And they're eating a lot of ass. You guys know this? Millennials are eating ass all the time. I don't get it either. I mean, they're the generation who's allergic to every goddamn thing in the world, yet they're eating ass all the time. They won't leave the house with an EpiPen, but they'll be going there. I guess after eating some ass, a little quinoa is going to taste pretty darn good. That one made me laugh for some reason. So she ended up dumping me because I wouldn't eat ass. I get her anger because, well, I'll eat just about anything. I'm like, hey, if I want to eat something that tastes like ass, I'll just eat at White Castle. Either way, I'm getting E. coli. I guess ass is gluten-free and locally sourced. Even cruelty-free, maybe. I don't know if you're doing it right. I don't know. I'm not here to kink shame anybody because I'll be honest. According to my ex-wife, she's a pretty boring lover. She's right. Our safe word was just, NCIS is on. We had one common sexual position we did most often. We called it the Anne Frank. It's when I turn off the lights and she wouldn't move or make a noise. Then she spent the evening journaling about it. Though on Christmas, we would spice it up. We would do the Rudolph. She just called me a bunch of names and wouldn't let me join in. All right, guys, be sure to look for my Netflix special. Hopefully next year, things go right. I'm going to be in season 3 of Making a Murderer. So please let me know if anybody needs a ride home. Also, I'll be outside selling some of my comedy CDs after the show. Most of them are George Carlin, but there's some other ones too.